In a time long past, the cupbearer was an official of the royal court, whose duty it was to serve drinks at the royal table. The cupbearer title was granted only to the most trusted high-ranking officers, as constant threats of poisonous conspiracies and fiendish intrigue left drinks with comrades feeling like a game of Russian roulette. Long after that legendary beer run that brought the Pilgrims to Plymouth Rock and the epically failed Prohibition, sailors and landlubbers alike are still looking for a safe cove to swill America's favorite beverage, a cupbearer that can be trusted, a drinksmith who will take our hand and lead us to new cocktail sensations, someone who will calm our fears and listen when we demand, shake it, where we can see it.
Look at, it's a Budweiser. In a champagne glass. So funny. They're gonna have a night. Yeah, pour the Budweiser.
Everything that you would read about her on the internet, she's very elusive. She's very mysterious and puts on this air.
Oh my gosh, I should have cleaned the fan. How embarrassing. Don't look at that. Don't look at that, Josh.
The most important person to Molly Wellman is the person right in front of her. And that's something you can't teach a bartender.
Being a bartender just isn't, it's not about just coming up, taking an order, pouring it into a glass and giving it to a customer. It's about creating an experience for that customer. It's about creating an experience when somebody comes into your business, and I think that's really important. You don't want to shake it down low just because it looks bad. It looks like it's lazy. You're not really putting a lot of effort into it. Up, over, and smile. And shake it like you mean. Shake it so they can see what you're doing. Shake it so they can see it.
I met Molly years and years ago at the bar I work at, and I just remember being so excited by her. She's got this energy that's really vibrant, and you just want to be around her, kind of. She's excited about everything.
She's a smile with red lipstick all the time.
I was one of those kids who would be like, but why? But why? But why? I would drive everyone around me nuts, but I wanted to know where everything came from. I needed to know how everything was made. I needed to know why it was called that. I needed to know why we needed it. I just needed to know why.
She's fun, she's funny, she knows her stuff, and when she talks to you, you listen. She always has the bright smile and everything, and in general, it's like a conversation piece, just talking to Molly, you know? It's great.
Writing the book really was a way to kind of spread the love, you know? I want people to see that it's not that hard to do, to have a great drink and to drink properly. It's not just about going into a bar, drinking so many shots that you fall off your stool or make a complete ass out of yourself. My rule of thumb is usually if it's all liquor, stir it, and if it has juice in it, then shake it. This way, it doesn't dilute it as much. It dilutes it just to the point where it's perfect, and it's kind of crystal clear and creates a good mouthfeel, and that's very important.
Molly as a mixologist is a walking history book of mixology.
It's not just the cocktail. It's the story behind it. These cocktails are antiques. You know, it's like going to an antique store, a vintage store, but you get to drink it. And so that's an experience all in itself. Say you're hanging out drinking a French 75. All of a sudden, you're drinking with, you know, these French Americans who were fighting in World War I, who love their champagne, but want it with a kick. I just think that's so cool. I love it. That's awesome. This is my favorite book. This one is the first cocktail book written here in Cincinnati. The original was written in the 1880s. This one's from 1895. It's the second version. But it's written by a guy named Chris Lawler, and he was the mixologist of Cincinnati in the 1880s and 90s. I love the stories behind it. You start to read about one story of a cocktail, and then all of a sudden you're learning about, the history of Russia or something like that. I know way too much about Winston Churchill, just researching the Manhattan, which really had not that much to do with Winston Churchill in the first place. But my history teacher would be super proud of me now because I know a lot about history that I probably should have learned in high school. Oh my gosh, I would love to go back to the Roaring 20s. First of all, it was a time where women just kind of let loose, and they were almost invincible. I think that's just fantastic. They started wearing what they wanted to wear, and it was much more comfortable. And this was the first time that women went and drank in bars with the men. You had these women and they were ready to go. They cut their hair short, they were sassy as all get out, they had a whole language to themselves, and they drank liquor. And they drank liquor right alongside the men.
Even with constant legal struggles to keep females from behind the bar, the history of spirits and mixology is littered with important women. In fact, many believe it was a vanished harem girl in Persia who discovered wine while trying to poison herself with spoiled grapes. It was women who first brewed beer, women who made distilling whiskey possible. It is in this tradition that Molly Wellman continues, forever absorbing knowledge, searching for that perfect balance of sweet and bitter so that your drink isn't just a drink, but a tasty time machine that transports you back to the golden age of cocktailing.